Welcome back to New Rockstars. I'm Erik Voss, and Avengers Endgame is one of the many ways Disney Plus can absorb your time for hours and hours. Time heist, including the bonus feature of an alternate ending involving Tony Stark after the snap, appearing in the orange-colored Soul Realm, meeting an older version of his daughter, Morgan, played by Katherine Langford. Now, this scene was described by the filmmakers earlier this year, but now we finally get a chance to see it, with the directors detailing their decision to cut it. The new discoveries that are now coming up provide so much insight on Stark's critical final moments, his connection with Thanos, and the nature of the cosmic forces of the MCU. So let's break down this scene in this episode of Inside Marvel. Okay, the scene begins with the moment Stark snaps back at Thanos.
I am Iron Man.
Now, we did learn that Robert Downey Jr. ad-libbed a bunch of alternate takes of this line, including lines like, "Oh snap," and "You are so f***ed." Instead, this version simply uses an alternate take of Stark wincing in pain as the stone's energy surge blasts through his body. The theatrical cut version, way more badass. This deleted version, Stark gets a rectal exam. Yeah, solid cut. And then, just like Thanos, the moment of his snap at the end of Infinity War, we flash to white, and then Stark finds himself in the orange-tinted Soul Realm. Now, the effects are not fully rendered because they removed this scene early enough in the process after test screenings to not waste any of the VFX budget finessing all the surfaces. Thanos' visit to the Soul Realm reconnected him with Gamora as a young girl, standing beneath a reconstruction of the gate of her home planet Zen-Wu-Buri, where he first met her and gave her that dagger. Here, Stark's reunion with Morgan is set in a reconstruction of their daddy-daughter moment, the yard outside their farmhouse, with that tent that she played in. And Morgan is now an adult, played by Katherine Langford. Stark says,
Do I know you?
I like how he begins to stammer his final words, "I am Iron Man" again, still trapped in that split second. And behind them, you can hear the screams and roars of the battle echoing through as kind of an ambient sound, as if stretched out in extreme slow motion. He realizes she's Morgan.
Guess it worked.
Yeah, it worked for me. I got to live, grow up. For you, I can't answer.
Stark struggles with this hint of his death, and he turns and says,
I'm sorry. I think I might have made a bad decision. I'm scared I made a mistake.
But Morgan comforts him.
I know, and I know it's gonna be tough for you to let go, but if someone had to do that, so the rest of us could, I'm proud of you. And sad. I'm strong, like Mom. And I'm happy. I'm happy we had the time that we did. Okay, and that you were there for me. Until you couldn't be.
And so Stark accepts it, saying, "If you're happy, I'm happy." Morgan says, "I love you," and Stark kisses her cheek and gives a really awkwardly delivered whisper,
I love you 3,000.
Yeah, for that line read alone, solid cut. Before we continue, thank you to Epic Games for sponsoring this episode. Take back your planet in this cartoon-inspired hero collector RPG. Use my link below to download Battle Breakers yourself. Battle Breakers was made as a passion project by the small team at Epic Games. You assemble the perfect team to defeat big bosses and epic brawls that span over 1,000 dungeons across volcanoes, forests, glaciers, and more. Unleash massive attacks and special abilities to smash through legions of monsters. Collect an arsenal from hundreds of heroes and take your game progress seamlessly across both mobile and PC platforms. Battle Breakers is free to play and available on PC, iOS, and Android. Use my link below to download Battle Breakers yourself, and when you do, be sure to use my supporter creator code new-rockstars to help support New Rockstars and all the great content we bring you. Thanks again to Epic Games for sponsoring this episode. Okay, back to this deleted scene. The director said that they cut this scene because, as they discovered while reviewing the sequence in post-production, it brought the film to a kind of halt. And despite Langford's great performance, test audiences really didn't have enough of an emotional connection to this totally new face. Additionally, Tony's self-recorded eulogy to Morgan was enough of a cathartic goodbye and an I love you 3,000, so this scene with older Morgan felt redundant. Still, I love that this scene exists because it contains a few really interesting details. I love that the animators included the single leaves falling from each tree to reflect the way that Tony Stark is gradually wilting away from life in this twilight moment. And I love that Morgan can't tell him for sure what happens to him, which indicates to us that adult Morgan is not an angel or a god or some external spirit from the cosmos. She's a projection of Tony's own mind, a piece of his soul, speaking back to him via the power of the Soul Stone. When Thanos went through this, his daughter was a manifestation of his own guilty conscience, asking, what did it cost? Haunting him like a ghost, judging him for his genocide. By comparison, Tony's daughter is here as a way for Tony to help himself come to terms with his decision and learn to let go. That projection can't be young 5-year-old Morgan Stark, because then Tony would still be left in a state of uncertainty over what her future would bring. But a healthy, confident adult Morgan Stark signals to Tony that he has done enough as a father and to now feel okay and to move on. She says, I'm strong like mom, reminding Tony that he's leaving Morgan in the hands of a generally more competent and more stable human being, one that he has already trusted to take care of his company for him. This whole moment for me echoes Andy Weir's beautiful short story, The Egg, in which a recently deceased soul talks with a comforting cosmic entity who tells him his death happened at just the right time for his surviving family. And, without spoiling it because you should definitely go read it, this entity begins as a stranger, but also later reveals itself as something far more familiar, just like Morgan does for Tony. Metaphysical ponderings aside, seeing Tony go through this makes me wonder, what the hell did Bruce Banner see when he snapped? All the baby chicken souls of the scrambled eggs? See, blip, Banner doesn't have a daughter, well, that we know of. So did he just like pop into that orange way station like a guy without a kid on Take Your Daughter to Work Day? I actually think Hulk already told us who he found the moment of his snap. Later, when saying goodbye to Cap, Banner suddenly looks down and says,
You know, I tried. When I had the gauntlet, the stones, I really tried to bring her back. I miss her, man.
Yeah, he's referring to Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow. Was the person he met in his soul realm actually Natasha? Well, earlier we never saw Hulk try to do anything specific other than simply snap his fingers together. We really just saw before and after. So there must have been some cosmic interlude in which Bruce Banner went through a process to find Natasha's soul and struggle to bring her back with him. The most artful way to depict that seems to be this Soul Realm way station. It's not limbo for people about to die, because Thanos didn't die, he continued to live on as a farmer making yummy stews. Instead, it's a place where your soul projects the one person that's hardest for you to say goodbye to. For Thanos, that was Gamora, for Tony, that was Morgan, and for Banner, I think that would be Natasha. And he would be unable to bring her back because that projection isn't real, it's just a reflection of your own survivor's skills. Also, there's a chance that Hulk's post-snap attempt to find and bring back Natasha was like a more confused mad dash as Rough Hulk went through dead Russian redhead after dead Russian redhead, unable to find the real Natasha. Natasha? No. Are you Natasha? No. What about you? Are you not?
My name is Natasha.
But you're not my Natasha.
I could be. I want to live again. Take me with you, big green man.
Get off me,
Take me.
Oh God. I killed her. What happens to her now? I'll just leave her here. Yeah, I definitely got all that from Banner saying, I really tried to bring her back. It was all there. Do you think this Morgan Stark scene should have been included in Avengers Endgame? Comment down below with your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at EA Voss. Follow New Rockstars on socials and subscribe to New Rockstars here on YouTube to join us as we go deeper and deeper inside Marvel and deeper inside Hulk's haunted hell memories.